One.
Okay. Alright, so now we're going to talk about this shape. So if you make one of these, that's good for homework, or two of these for homework. Okay, so if you're making one of these, this is the shape you want to have in your back of your head, and or this shape, which is why I actually prefer if you do this, but it's your choice. Full credit for either one. But by looking at this shape when it's completed, you can feel the dodecahedron and the icosahedron right in your hands. If you imagine all these little pyramids being shaved off, then you get back to icosahedron. But if you look down on this 5-star and think about filling in these gaps and making a pentagon, a pentagon, a pentagon all over the place, then you end up with the dodecahedron. So the great thing about this shape is you have an icosahedron and a dodecahedron right in your hands together, and my hope is that you will feel the duality of those two shapes and feel that they are intrinsically related. You can look and just see how they're related. If you just took, if this were made out of wood instead of paper, and I just started shaving down each of those corners, first you would get a soccer ball that would be called a truncated icosahedron. But if you keep shaving and keep shaving, your soccer ball would eventually turn into a dodecahedron. So they are intertwined. Okay, so how do we put this shape together? I'm going to not put the whole thing together for you, but I am going to first of all remind you of some facts and tell you what I mean. So the shape is based off of an icosahedron. The actual icosahedron has 12 corners, 30 edges, and 20 faces, and the corners on the Sonobe variant are 20 of them. So 20, when I say corner, I'm talking about these pokey out corners. So you multiply that by 3/2 and you get 30 pieces, which is how many pieces of paper you need to complete the project. Let me show you here my little diagram. What my diagram is trying to tell you is that every time you have a, what I'm calling a 3 vertex or a 3 corner, those are the pokey out ones, their mountain ridges travel down to the 5 corners. So this is, can you see that in there? Great. Okay. But if you look at the 5 vertex, it alternates. The valleys go down to 5s and the ridges go over to 3s. Okay? So it alternates 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3. So I'm calling this a 5 corner, but I'm lying. Really, it's a 10 corner, right? But I'm still going to call it a 5 corner. Okay. So how do we do this? Well, you saw in the last video that when you want to make, we were making 4s, we just put this flap inside here. But I'm not trying to make a 4 corner, I'm trying to make a 5 corner. Slip this guy in. And again, the same technique could be used to make a 6, and there's no real good reason to make more than a 6. If you make a 6, it lies flat, and so it doesn't really help you much. I'll show you what it looks like when you have a 6. This is what the 6 looks like. So for example, this green one is a 5 corner, here's another 5 corner, another 5 corner, and this is what a 6 corner looks like. Okay, if I want to build from this point, and I'm trying to build this object, I'm going to grab 5 of these guys. I'm not going to build the whole thing on video, but I'm just going to get you started. So what you would do is you take your 5 corner and you say, well, all my 5 corners are connected to 3s. So I'm going to just build little 3s all the way around. Just go all the way around. In your mind, you should be keeping track of how many pieces of paper you've used. So if this project requires 30 pieces, let's see, this, I've lost track of what I'm doing. Here's my main star. Oops, here I need to go over here. I usually don't like to put the same 2 colors next to each other, but I'm going to do it anyway. There we go. And then you put this guy in here. When you get to this stage, you should be able to spread it out, and again, see, it's symmetric. So it kind of looks like some kind of weird five-pointed frog. Right, so we've used 10 pieces of paper. So this is actually a third of the object. And if you make another one of these for the bottom, then there would be 10 more pieces of paper, and they would go around the middle. So if I look at the finished object, there's 5, and then it has wings that would make 5 more. So this would make 10, this would make 10. It's not quite what it looks like because these wings will come down too, but then you can just weave these other guys through the middle. There's all sorts of ways to complete it, but you would start by saying, I have a 5, I'm moving to 3s, the 3s move to 5s, the 5s move to 3s, and you just keep working your way around until you have yourself a ball with all the tabbies stuck in.